Hey guys! So about a month ago, I made a community post talking about a new video series idea, where I do an occasional episode that covers 5 levels of my choosing that I want to give my thoughts on. These levels in question would not have to be objectively good levels, but they would just be ones that I have something to say about and ones that I want to talk about, but I don't really have a way to otherwise. 74% of you said you would like to see this, so I thought I would do it, but don't worry, they won't take over my channel. I will upload them sparingly, because I would like to keep the series fresh and meaningful and make sure my channel has a greater variety of content. So yeah, this is the pilot episode of my new show, the Level Spotlight series. As I already said, I will go through 5 levels that I want to talk about per episode, and I will say what I have to say about them and move on. These videos won't be as long as my usual ones, but I will try to talk about each level in detail to flesh them out a bit more. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoy this new series, and let's get right into it. Alright, so the first level I have to talk about is Asterios, an Extreme Demon Mega collab by Nero and more. This is a level that uses the same song as Ragnarok by Nobleboy and more, Infertehno 2 by SOCLB. It really is an awesome song, and that is definitely one of the factors that makes this level so good, but it doesn't stop there. This level starts off strong with a really cool art that fades in and out, kind of like the beginning of Ragnarok. I wish it didn't go by as fast so you could actually see it for longer, but that's a trivial complaint. The first part in the level is built by Nero himself, and it sets the stage for what the deco theme is going to be. Desaturated colors with minimal block decoration and glow usage, with the main colors revolving around an icy cold palette, with the occasional red, yellow, and orange being used later in the level. All of the gameplay in the level is also by Nero, but that's something I'll touch on later. In summary, the first part isn't anything special, but the individual parts are not where this level shines. The outstanding part about this level is its consistency. As you watch through the level, the most impressive thing you will realize is that you will never notice a part that stands out as particularly bad or unfitting with the rest. Some parts are definitely better than others, but there's a consistency in this level that matches no other, and every part is built in the same style with the same colors and design in mind, which is extremely hard to pull off in a mega collab this long and diverse. It's so well fitting that it almost seems like a solo level. This level also has some incredible art, with gorgeous custom backgrounds really making the level that much better. Something that definitely contributes to this seamless connection between the parts is the gameplay, which as I already said, is all made by one man, Nero. This automatically makes every part have somewhat of a similar style from the beginning in the form of gameplay. The gameplay is definitely not bad either, with the duels in this level being some of the best I have ever seen. The verifier, Atomic, has commented on the gameplay as well, saying that it is truly a blast to play, and though it's hard to learn, once you get it down it's insanely fun. He also says that the level is all around amazing decoration-wise, praising it as one of the most unique extreme demons in the game, which I think pretty much sums it up. There's really no other level like this one, and its unmatched design consistency and unique decoration ideas isolate it as one of my favorite levels to have recently been released. Unfortunately, it has not yet been rated, but hopefully it can be soon. We can see this level placed on the list and get some victors and the attention it rightfully deserves. The next level I want to talk about is the recently finished 30-minute Extreme Demon official Phobos sequel, Deimos by Akira Kurisu and many more. I know this level has yet to actually be verified, but I've had my eyes on it for a while, and it's honestly one of the reasons I wanted to start this series in the first place. And since it has now been fully finished, I think it's okay to finally talk about it. This level is by far one of my favorite demons to be released in recent times, and I really don't think the community appreciates enough the brilliance and technical perfection behind it. When most people see this level, they think something along the lines of, oh, just another extreme demon, it's pretty inconsistent in decoration, and it doesn't really have a clear theme. Some parts look okay, but the gameplay is pretty trashy, and overall this level isn't great. Now, I'm not here to argue that those claims are necessarily wrong, but look at it this way. Deimos is the official sequel to Phobos, the legendary 1.9 level that has made a massive impact on the community today. When we think Phobos now, we think of how unorganized it was. How it was some parts looked really good, but some were far from impressive, and how its unprofessional management and awful gameplay really shone through. After all, it was only made to be hard, and the victors of the level have stated that it can be extremely unfun. Now, look at Deimos. It's a messy, clearly unorganized, and inconsistent mega collab. Do you see what I'm getting at? This is the genius behind Akira's hosting. They essentially left no instructions for participants on how to build their parts. Deimos is a mashing together of multiple different decoration styles, and for every really good part in the level, there's bound to be an awful one to match. It expertly mirrors Phobos in this way, and one of my favorite ways to look at it is that it is essentially what Phobos would have been if it was made in 2.1 instead of 1.9. It's extremely hard for our demons list today, like Phobos was back in the day, and just about everything about it parallels the original level, which is such a cool concept that makes this one of my favorite levels of all time. Some of the parts in this level look genuinely good, but again, there's a heap of subpar parts to contradict these, but that's the point. I really like how all the creators took a different approaches to building their parts, with some sections of the level intending to mimic parts of the original Phobos Mega Collab, and others building in completely unrelated and separate styles to the parts around it. Keeping this all in mind, I hope I showed you guys the true brilliance behind this level, and how it really is just not another random Extreme Demon Mega Collab. If you have been hating on this level, please take these words into consideration and appreciate how well thought out it is, as I think it is one of the coolest ways I have ever seen a level sequel done in GD. I can still understand why people would not particularly like this level, as some of the design is not the best, but I hope you can all now understand why it was made this way, and how it really isn't just because of bad management, but instead because of well-crafted thought behind the organization. This level is supposedly harder than Tartarus, and it will be verified by top player Swyborg. I wish him good luck on beating this incredible project, and I am excited to see it released. For my next pick on this list, I chose Tapwreck, the short but challenging Extreme Demon by Mr. Lorenzo. Tapwreck is a very interesting level to me, and ever since I saw the first previews, I have been intrigued by it. This level executes its atmosphere in some of the most interesting and masterful ways I have ever seen, and that is something I really commend this masterpiece for. Everything in this short level works together extremely well, and though the colors clash often and the structures are extremely inconsistent in design, somehow it all works together in a weird mash of intense and threatening atmosphere. One of the most unifying parts about this level is definitely its song, and I think Tapwreck is a prime example of how a perfect song can really complete a level. The track used is Chase.mp3, and it is an absolute banger. I am not sure where Mr. Lorenzo came across it, but it really is a heavy, intense song full of the right soundscape that can be capitalized on via a GD level. I think Mr. Lorenzo executed this perfectly, as the style he used in both decoration and gameplay matches incredibly with the way the song progresses and feels. The compact structures and gameplay are reminiscent of a challenge level, and this is another reason why this level is so unique in my eyes. It feels like an extended, decorated challenge, but it's so much more than that at the same time. The sync is excellent, and though the gameplay doesn't look particularly fun and it looks extremely hard to learn, it doesn't really matter, as even if it is infuriating, it adds further to the threatening vibe that this level intends to give off. Tapwreck feels like a weird assault on your senses at first, with some parts like this wave at 58 having gross color combinations that at first make you wonder what Mr. Lorenzo was thinking. But these are all part of the scheme behind this level, and as you start to further understand the feeling that it was going for, the more you see how brilliant it truly is. I think I have said everything I have to say about this level, and I hope you can now see a little better why this level is so amazing to me. It's not a pretty level in any regard, gameplay or design, but that's part of its charm, and the well-executed atmosphere in this level manages to bring it above a bar that most levels fail to meet nowadays. All in all, Tapwreck is a very well-made and unique level that deserves much more attention than I think it has gotten. My next level spotlight is 666, an Extreme Memory Demon by Dylnmatrix. 666 is a much easier level than the other three that have been in this video so far, and as a result, it is one of the few levels that I've actually gotten some progress on, so I can actually comment on the gameplay. I plan to go in detail about every gimmick and design in this level, as I have a lot to say about its brilliance, so be prepared. 666 is, in my humble opinion, Dylnmatrix's best level. There are a multitude of reasons for this, but the main one is that I think it's the most well executed and thought out. Dylnmatrix always has good ideas for his levels, but they don't always come to form as the best they can be, but I think 666 is the exception in that regard. 666 is also, like Tapwreck, a prime example of how a song can truly bring a level to life. This level is extremely atmospheric and chaotic, and at every part Dylnmatrix manages to perfectly capture the song in such a way that truly makes the level feel alive. The level starts off very eerily, with the song slowly building and the gameplay is slowly getting faster. As the song builds, the decoration starts to get red flashes, and the background starts to spin alongside the creative addition of 2.1 filler blocks as gory webs that go across the structures. These hint as what is to come, as the next part is filled with fleshy designs, pulsing veins and arteries, and dynamic gory block design and killground. This part is definitely one of my favorites in any Dylnmatrix level, as he strategically uses his skill at art and effects to make the part come to life and match the song. The samples used in this part of the track really do fit very well with the gory vibe that is presented, and I applaud Dylnmatrix for his expert visualization in this regard. This section of the level is also extremely messy, with blocks going into each other and things not really making sense, and at first this can put off the viewer and make them wonder what Dylnmatrix was thinking. But this chaotic feeling that is transcribed from this messiness once again matches very well with the music, and I think it just adds that much more to the atmosphere. Another thing I really like about this part is the gameplay, as it is very scattered and chaotic to match the decoration and the song. Filled to the brim with fake orbs and invisible portals, the memory component really comes to life here, and though it can be annoying to learn, this part of the level is a blast to play once you get it down. The next section of the level is a little bit less chaotic, as it slows down with the song, but it definitely still keeps up with the consistency of the design and the song. The music here starts a weird vocal part with no more fleshy samples, and Dylnmatrix capitalizes on this by turning the color scheme to red, black, and white, and adding some really cool art decoration and block designs. All the structures have bloody tips to them, and there are what appears to be human skeletons in the backgrounds with their heads facing at different angles. There are also large rotating black wheels that add to the dynamic of this part, and I think they offer the little bit of movement needed to keep the section feeling alive. There are also floating goals at these parts that add even more to the atmosphere. After this, we get a little bit of orb swim that leads into the main attraction of the level, the Killbot-inspired flashing memory part. The song climaxes here, and there is so much going on in the music and on screen that every element of the song is represented in some way by the effects at this part. This section is honestly incredible to me. The effort that Dylnmatrix put into every flashing background really blows me away, and I highly encourage you to watch a replay of the level in slow motion and pause it at the different parts to see the art that is included with every custom background, because it honestly looks stunning. The primary color scheme is red and black, with some glitchy effects that being the only other colors used in the design. There are 666s flashing across the screen, and this part truly is a masterpiece of memory Killbot-styled gameplay. This is definitely the best I have ever seen it done before, and once you get it down, it is incredibly satisfying to play. After this part, you fall into the final section of the level. This final part is incredibly chaotic and monotonous with the song, and I think that is the perfect representation of the weary and intense final stretch to victory. It's pure memory gameplay, and with the cave design and everything going aflame around you, it really keeps the suspense right until the end. There are countless people running and burning throughout this part, and it honestly seems to me like some representation of hell. This is an incredibly difficult final part, and it really puts your ability to handle yourself under pressure to the test. After the final straight fly, you manage to escape the level as the song slows down with the visual accompaniment of a fitting end screen. I'm sorry I took so much time to go through this level. I just really wanted to go through each part individually and look at the genius behind it, so I hope you guys didn't mind. I can understand why people wouldn't like this level, as it's definitely not for everyone, but I hope I gave you some insight into why it's so brilliant in my eyes. With all that said, let's head on to the final level. The final level I have on this list is Distraught, an Extreme Demon Mega Collab by Alkali. Before I get into this one, I want to apologize for only including extreme demons in this episode. It was unintentional, and I promise that I have other difficulty levels that I want to talk about, but they will have to be saved for future installments. Anyways, let's talk about Distraught. This level is truly a demon of epic proportions. This is by far one of the most intense levels I have ever seen, and it honestly gives me goosebumps every time I watch it. The incredible effects combined with a tight gameplay style and intense song give this level such an amazing edge, but that's not the only thing I love about this masterpiece. I think one of the most unique things about this level that sets it aside from others is its color scheme. The level starts out gray and black, but when you get to Eclipse's part, you are introduced to the dark rainbow theme that will be used throughout the rest of the level. I think this is brilliant. The mostly grayscale structure and combined with flashy rainbow effects here and there really makes the level enjoyable to look at. And it is really cool to see what each creator did with this sort of idea. Some parts, like Eclipsed and Salaxium's, went for the full rainbow alongside the black and gray scheme, while others like Johu went for just red and black, while parts like Jakob's went for a more subtle blue, light red, and light purple. Every single part in this level is gorgeous, but the effects are truly what blows me away. The visualization of the song is amazing in this level, and every part does something unique with personifying the song and with effects and decorations, and it truly brings the level to life and makes it that much more satisfying to look at. The gameplay works very well in this regard, too. It keeps it simple, which I like, but it captures the feeling of the song very well. I really do love this level, and I will never get tired of watching it. It executes the feeling of the song perfectly, and it will definitely go down in history as one of my favorite extreme demons of all time. Well, that's all I have for this episode. I Hope you guys like this new type of video, and please tell me in the comments if you want me to continue this little series or try to stray away from it. I would really like to know. I did enjoy making these, as it's fun to offer my opinions on these levels, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Feel free to comment about any levels you have strong opinions about, and let's see if we can get some discussions going. Lastly, if you happen to enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe, but no pressure. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, it means a lot to me, and I will see you guys all in the next video.